The President of the European Commission, Her Excellency Ursula von der Leyen, accompanied by the College of Commissioners, are on official visit to India, as you all know. The 22 of the commissioners are part of the EC delegation, and this is really an unprecedented and a landmark visit on many counts. This is one of the first such visits by the college in its new mandate, and the first which has been outside Europe, and their new mandate, of course, began in December 2024. This visit signals the high priority that is attached by both sides to the strategic partnership that we share. And the visit of the entire college also highlights the very extensive breadth of our partnership and engagement. President von der Leyen met Prime Minister Modi, and the two leaders held extensive discussions, including in the delegation level talks. In addition to these talks, there have been 20 individual ministerial meetings since yesterday, again something very unprecedented, where the College of Commissioners have met their counterpart ministers. These other meetings have included meetings of the bilateral cluster, the three meetings of the ministerial level for the three working groups of the Trade and Technology Council and the Trade and Technology Council Ministerial itself. 20 cabinet ministers and ministers of state from India also participated in the delegation level talks today. The themes covered in these bilateral ministerial engagements, in addition to the trade and FTA and digital green technologies to supply chains under the TTC, some of the other themes that were discussed were ranging from finance to renewable energy to environment, research and innovation to skilling and education, space to defense, connectivity and mobility, sustainable urbanization to water to fisheries, women empowerment to youth. So this really gives an idea of how extensive and broad-ranging the discussions were held at ministerial level. And this explains the breadth of our strategic partnership that we share. I would like to share some of the program elements briefly. Yesterday, upon arrival, President von der Leyen was received at the airport by Honorable Minister of State for Health and Family Welfare, Srimati Anupriya Patel, and was accorded a ceremonial reception and a cultural welcome. Thereafter, she visited Rajghat to pay tributes to Mahatma Gandhi. External Affairs Minister had called on the President von der Leyen last evening. Today, the plenary meetings were followed by a banquet lunch hosted by the Prime Minister in honor of President von der Leyen and the College of Commissioners. And later this evening, the Confederation of Indian Industry, CII, will host a business event with leaders of industry, and they will also host a dinner for the delegation. Earlier today, the President von der Leyen, she experienced the digital payment transaction, UPI, at one of the venues. And the College of Commissioners also traveled by the hydrogen bus to the venue. These two areas, of course, digital transformation and green energy transition, are areas where India is developing our capabilities very quickly. And also these are areas, some of the key areas where India and EU are collaborating very closely. Among the outcomes, there has been a leader's statement, which will be, I understand, will be issued shortly. It highlights the important context of the visit and the significance, and also the guidance that has been provided by the leaders to their teams to take the strategic partnership forward in very, very substantial ways. Some of the key outcomes relate to trade, investment, technology, mobility, connectivity, defense, and these broad themes. In a major outcome, the leaders have directed their teams that the India-EU FTA should be concluded within the year. This is, of course, a very important outcome as negotiations have been ongoing on this aspect. There has also been very clear progress on the different working groups under the Trade and Technology Council. These working groups Just to refresh your memory, the themes are from strategic technologies, digital governance, and digital connectivity. That is working group 1. Then green and clean energy technologies, and that is the working group 2. And trade, investment, and resilient value chains is the theme of the working group 3. And there has been very extensive discussions and progress in all 3 of these tracks. On technology further, there has been progress in the implementation of the MOU on semiconductors, from boosting supply chains to facilitating talent exchange and skilling. And also there has been MOU between the Bharat 6G Alliance and EU 6G Smart Networks and Service Industry Associations, and extensive discussions were held on taking these cooperation forward. There is also a deepening collaboration between the India AI Mission and the European AI Office. On clean and green energy, there is joint funding been announced of 60 million euros for research projects ranging from electric vehicles to plastics, marine plastics, and also to projects on waste to energy, especially to green hydrogen. There has been progress on the 3rd phase of the work plan on clean energy and climate partnership that India and EU share. And India-EU Green Hydrogen Forum will be held. And India-EU Business Summit on offshore wind energy is also planned. Another area of collaboration, important collaboration, has been connectivity. And in that sphere, both sides discussed the significance of the IMEC connectivity initiative and various ways to take this forward. On the defense and security domain, especially maritime security, the EU has decided to join India's Indo-Pacific Ocean Initiative, IPOI, and EU is also joining as an observer or a dialogue partner in the IORA initiative. There was also discussions and cooperation on improving maritime domain awareness, especially the cooperation between fusion centers in terms of sharing information. Similar cooperation was discussed between the Indian Navy and the Operation Aspides of European Union. There was also discussion on how India could join projects under the EU's Permanent Structured Cooperation, which is called the PESCO, EU's Security and Defense Program. It was also decided to hold focused discussions on defense industrial partnerships going forward. And India-EU Space Dialogue will be launched soon. And both sides also decided to pursue trilateral cooperation projects both in Africa and also in the Indo-Pacific region. This area has been another important area of collaboration, since both India and EU have extensive development partnership program across various geographies, and both sides have now decided to pursue such cooperation projects. The leaders' statement and the Trade and Technology Council joint statement will be shared with you. I would like to add some more on the recent interactions that have been held between the two sides, and some of the background information relating to the extent of our partnership. Among the recent interactions, of course, last Friday, External Affairs Minister had met the EU High Representative for Foreign Affairs, HRVP, Ms. Kaja Kallas, in Johannesburg on the sidelines of the G20 Foreign Ministers meeting. Last month, Commerce and Industry Minister had traveled to Brussels to hold detailed talks on talks with the EU Trade Commissioner, Maros Sefcovic, who was also part of the college visiting currently. Prime Minister Modi and President von der Leyen have met 7 times earlier, both in terms of bilateral settings, but also multilateral settings, for example, G7 and G20 meetings. This was the 3rd visit of President von der Leyen to India as the EC President. Her previous visits were in September 2023 during the G20 summit, and earlier in April 2022 in a standalone bilateral visit. In recent months, for example, if we just look at last 18 months, there have been more than 110 interactions at the head of state, head of government, and ministerial level between India and Europe. This is a very, very substantial number, of course, and it shows the extent of the intensifying and diversifying engagement between India and countries and regions of Europe and member states of the EU. Between India and EU, there are 30 bilateral institutional dialogue mechanisms which meet regularly at the senior official level. Our strategic partnership is completing 20 years. It was started in 2004, and now the two sides, the two leaders have decided to accelerate and elevate this partnership further. The trade, technology, talent, innovation, investment, green transition, defense production, security, and resilient supply chains are some of the key areas of our strategic partnership. India's largest trading partner in goods is the European Union. The trade in goods has nearly doubled over the last decade to reach a figure of US dollar 135 billion, and the figure has grown 3 times over the past 2 decades. Trade in services stands at around dollars 53 billion. EU is a major investment partner for India. EU's collective FDI into India is nearly $120 billion since the year 2000. And India's investment into the EU is also growing, and it is now estimated at around US dollars 40 billion. If we look at the business cooperation, there are an estimated 6,000 companies from EU countries which have active business presence in India. And similarly, around 1,200 Indian companies are estimated to have business presence in EU countries. So this is a very, very substantial trade, investment, and business partnership that we share. Another very important element is the people-to-people contact. The Indian diaspora in the European Union continues to grow. It is estimated at around 1.65 million currently. And this includes 120,000 Indian students as estimated. So these are some of the numbers that give you the extent of the close strategic partnership that we share. And as I mentioned, in the outcomes today, the areas were really trade in terms of the announcement on the timelines for FTA, the concrete progress achieved in the Trade and Technology Council among various technology tracks ranging from artificial intelligence to semiconductors to quantum computing, high-performance quantum computing, the connectivity relating to IMEC initiative, the EU's joining of IPOI, Indo-Pacific Ocean Initiative, the push on green hydrogen, and the furthering of cooperation in the sphere of space cluster. So these are some of the areas that have that are really taking this strategic partnership forward. And as I mentioned, this has been really historic and unprecedented in terms of the range of interactions that were held at the same time at the leaders level and also at the ministerial level, with 22 commissioners from the EU traveling to India and 20 ministers taking part in the delegation level talks, and also 20 bilateral meetings over the last 1.5 days. So this will be completing my initial briefing.